Hi, everybody. Dale Pinkert here at TradeGATEHub.com. We're sponsored, powered by TradeView Markets. Check out their spreads. I'm here with Mike, and Mike, last Thursday we were on during this candle in the dollar. I used the hot CPI number to sell into dollar strength, and we were on the air, and you wanted to get off because the S&Ps were doing this. This was Thursday,
Yeah,
and
it
we were
was.
here,
Yeah,
right?
literally
And
during midair. So I
yeah,
apologize. Last Monday's video, go back and watch it on the YouTube channel and see what happened as we were going. You know what? And see how we handled it offline. We were discussing what was going while it was happening. I'm sorry, Coach.
yeah,
About
it's no, it's good. It's fine, and I think these are two real key days, and they are related. In fact, you see S&Ps coming off a little bit, and with that, you have like cable pulling back, a little red candle, and euro trying to pull back. But I feel that they're both related.
right.
And the one thing that disappointed me was that silver on that day did this. Okay, so the dollar was selling off dramatically, and the only thing silver could do is rally to be lower on the day, which to me was a market tell, because I thought once the dollar peaked, it'd be jet fuel for the metals. Instead, it had no impact, and I'm negative short term. The silver, and I'm looking for, and I think this will be the last one. I just want to show what process is for a market bottom. So traded this low,
Mhm.
temporary profits, wash out to new low, took out the longs.
Right.
Traded this low, temporary profits. But if you can't make money on a $3 move in silver, and you're not ringing the register,
You're in
that's
trouble.
something you
Right.
have to
Well
you
put.
have to
That's
look
well
at.
articulated. I agree.
And so now I'm looking for one more to clean out the longs that thought they had it here, Mike.
Right.
And one more shot down, and I'm a buyer down there. So
Yeah.
that's what I got out of last Thursday. And I would say as long as the dollar is closing, I need some closes under this 112 level. As you could tell, it's a failing rally. While S&Ps made new highs, the dollar made a lower high. And yields are starting to look like that they're getting a little bit stretched. So the question is, and most people that are talking to me are saying, well, Dale, this is just temporary. The dollar's going to make a new high. And I think most people are saying that this is just another bear market bounce.
The
And
first, the previous one's a crowded thought, in my opinion.
yeah, okay. So with what's happened here in 3 days, uh, yesterday I talked about this trend line where we're well above it. I'm not saying that it has to be a straight line move,
Right.
but
Right. Right. Exactly. Of course.
I'd be a buyer on breaks towards 3640 and risk 3600 now. What?
3640. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe 36 and a half, and risk a close under 36. Um, what were the stars on this rally? Because we were talking that day and you were showing me charts that were breaking out to new highs. I'm sure they had, and then we had the head fake Friday, right? It was
Oh,
this,
yeah.
and it made people say, oh,
Well,
this rally's not going to hold.
can
Go
can
ahead.
you keep that up for quite a minute, Coach, your chart?
Yeah.
And I wanted to make a point about this. And this was brought up in my video yesterday, Monday, and a week before that, Monday, the Monday morning video, which, if I can digress a second for any TGH followers, is I would say we all try to preach quality, not quantity, because it's a very, there's 8,000, 10,000 equities and a tremendous amount of financial instruments, all of them which you can trade through with TradeView markets. Fact,
All of them.
including VIX futures, which we introduced, which during the middle of the night, I'm not saying it's the best instrument to trade, but we certainly offer it. And if you're not aware at least how to use these major instruments that are what that everybody has or offers, then you right then you're starting the day without an edge.
You're missing a tool in your tool
A
chest.
tool, and right there, you're right there. you're going to a gunfight with a knife. And I'm not saying you have to use it, but in these days of 24-hour trading, and everybody privy to very sensitive news and probably even overreacting to news to a degree, because as news happens 24 hours, people, get skittish. It's not like if when we were growing older, Coach, if I can digress again, if there was
I
something,
can't remember.
if there was news that came out, you couldn't trade pre-market.
Yeah.
It would take
No.
6 or 7 hours to disseminate. Cooler
Yeah.
heads prevailed, and then you moved on. But what I'm saying is, get familiar with all the profit, the instruments we have in vehicles at TradeView Markets. It's extensive, and I doubt that we're lacking of any of
Yeah, a
that.
friend of mine says all this news is coming out during European hours.
It is,
Okay.
and that's
Okay.
also.
So
Go ahead. I'm
go
sorry.
ahead. No,
And
go ahead.
that will I appreciate that. And you know what? That only puts a stamp on my statement that how I've been let me just say this again. I would say I don't know the specific number, but I don't know how many Fridays we've had a bad close, and then the doom and gloom has. There were a lot of Monday morning opens recently. I'll get those facts, but sans a couple of these last two Mondays have been doomsday situations going through Monday. And you
Yeah.
know what? Even when nothing really had happened over the weekend, going back maybe the past 2 months, and a couple of China issues. Yes, the wars goes back and forth. I'm not minimizing banning, but this is how you should start judging the price action. I would say I don't be once again, aside from the last two Friday close of Monday opens, the Friday opens have been just watershed closes and been continuing into Monday.
Because unlike last year, no one wants to go home long
Well, now you
and
know
worry
why
about a risk event.
and this is then this is my point exactly of how price action trumps sentiment. The market has been, I don't know how many of the last Friday included, which trapped every people short, and we opened up Monday, which was yesterday, continuing today, Tuesday. But you have to see that as Europe, as Monday morning, as Sunday morning. Once again, I can't stress this enough. How I've been talking about in my video, last Monday being yesterday, especially last week, is that once the European markets open and the Forex market opens on Sunday night at 4 o'clock Eastern, and things aren't out of whack. And then I've been so used to seeing European markets very weak Sunday night into Monday morning. But as of the last two Mondays, including yesterday, they've been reversing. And you know
Yeah.
why? Because there's not the world, we wake up in Monday morning and the world has not, or at least there's not been any let's get it over with news already. So it traps people that have been looking for doomsday. Everybody's off sides with all these puts that I posted almost on a daily basis for weeks now. So what I'm saying is, and it's also evidence in the price action of the banks, and that this is the second quarter of earnings that's starting to commence, and a lot of bad news is being thrown out the window and taken positively as of now. No, Coach.
Yeah. And
you said which are the best winners, but you know what? The biggest moves a lot of the times occur in the worst markets. You know what I mean? So
right.
with the VIX between 28 and 32, I think it touched 34, 35, whatever. This is a great trading market where you should take money in the market every day, not stepping up into taking any long-term positions, because you know what? There have been binary moves. There have been I believe 33%. I posted this. 33% of the moves in 2020 have been 1% or more on the downside. So right there, 1/3 of the days you're getting tremendous moves. And you know what? For anybody that may run their fund that's had any trepidatious situations like myself to a degree, it's been a little bit tough placing money to the long term. But as seasonality abates or even starts, as you will, as we come to the mid of October, bullish. Everybody is positioned off sides to a degree, bullish. Especially the financials, and a lot of stocks are acting positively with bad news. So the second period of earnings, the second quarter since inflation started, we're starting to see a lot of bad news get priced in. That's all I'm saying. And you know what? A lot of this price action, people looking for an explanation, but to a degree, it's the other way around now. I'm reading what's going on during lunchtime. I'm watching your video when I get off here at 9:30. I'm basically reacting with I'm not looking at the macro picture, right? I'm asking why
Yeah.
later. I'm just going with, I'm not trying to pick a bottom in the market. I'm going with price action and what's working well. And you asked me what's to begin with this whole conversation, what stocks have been acting well. It's been rotational still. The first stocks have been acting well. If you can share the screen, coach.
Yeah, I just wanted to just say one more
Oh,
thing
yeah, sure.
before you grab it is, with this action in the S&Ps here, Mike, that if we penetrate 3,800, which was the high before the last low, I see no reason why we can't be looking at 4,000, 4,100. It still needs to clear this, in my view. And, if you were looking for a bull case in stocks and you look at this whole, bear market of this whole year, it really doesn't. Even though there's been tremendous damage in all the overpriced stocks
I know
and
what you're going to say.
SPACs
Yeah,
and memes and you name it, this looks pretty orderly.
it is.
VIX never went, and as long as we hold 36, you know what? There's a possibility that if we start closing back over 41, 4,200, that this market has a chance to make new highs into the spring.
I agree.
And what a wall of worry has been set up with 9 months of bearish sentiment and Fed and inflation and no good news anywhere. Recession's either here or it's coming for there to be a bull move in stocks. No one is ready for that. Short term, you'll get pulled. It's not going to be a straight line because something you follow, Mike, is the fear and greed meter.
Yes, of
And
course.
it's come off fear now, hasn't it? There's
Yes.
not the same degree of fear after these last few days.
And what I'm saying is everybody, the reason why
And you could have the
I,
charts now.
I appreciate that. And the reason why, let me share screen. Let's go to TradeGATEHub because that's most important. Hold on. Let's go to TradeView Markets. We share right there. Boom. Hold on. So, okay. And I agree with that, coach. And you know what? Let me sign into TradeView Markets because what we do best is follow a routine and a pattern. Because when it comes to game time, we're ready to fire away. So here we're on TradeGATEHub. Like I said, futures look like they're going negative as the VIX goes positive. That's okay.
Yeah.
It's healthy and we need it. All right. So this was tactical. Okay. First of all, here's what Helene said. Bank of America survey screams capitulation with a rally set for two. Just listen, I'm not really biased. I believe in what you said about that because and when you said when we hold at 3,600, there's so many people position off sides, including what Helene says, that we're waiting. You said there was a lot of trepidation, but no, I don't know if fear equals that. I wasn't that fearful. I was just frustrated. And as everybody waits for that other proverbial shoe to drop when either if the VIX goes to 40 or the S&P or SPX go to what, 3,500 or some here 3,380 or 3,200.
Yeah.
At the longer that, and you know this well, coach, the longer it doesn't happen, the longer it's going to happen the other way. And you know what? A lot of stocks, and let's go to some charts. You know what? I don't know if the other shoe is going to drop because you know what? They might sell it off this Friday and open them down on Monday.
And Helene will be here. Let me check my calendar. She will be here the 17th of November.
And for everybody not familiar with Helene, they should be, because you know what? As I said this morning, Helene literally had the resume that I want. Growing up, Helene's resume it was the one that I wanted to have, and not
She
only
was
is
at a lot of commodity firms.
yeah,
I
but I mean,
Conti.
she was a trailblazer, a woman.
Yeah.
There's Helene, 186,000 followers, all no bots. She's a contributor on Real Money.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a trailblazer. She really is.
Her husband's in the business.
She is. Well, that you know what, and the fact that they're both married and in the business says that both high. That you know what I mean. They don't let their egos get in the way. Even Kramer divorced his wife. The Nancy Kramer, whatever her name was. All right. So my point. Yeah, Karen Kramer. That was her name, and I get it. All right. So here's a chart on Microsoft to a degree. Okay. Now it's, you know what I mean. Lower lows. If we make newer lows, there's a bigger problem here. Apple, if we make lower lows, I mean, that's a big move.
Yeah, that would be a big problem.
Google, we have a position and okay, let's hope it holds those both the moving averages. Stocks like Amazon, you know what I mean? For it to go back to the low to 104 to 115, if that happens a flush like that, first of all, that's going to be a binary, probably geopolitical, or everybody pre-announced. There's all earnings. You know what I mean? I don't think any one earnings situation will drop the market. If Google pre-announces the baby, but with the majority of stocks, I think the baby is out with the bathwater to use some cheap. I mean, it's done in a lot of roadblocks, nice pullback. A 20% move like that. Yes, Tesla pulled back and everything. That thing like Meta stocks. I just Netflix is tonight. They're selling it off a little bit. It certainly looked like that made new lows. If
That looks
Netflix
okay.
earnings tonight goes below 170, then you know what I mean.
Yeah.
The trading will get very good. We're just going to have some complications in the long term account, but that's what it is. It is what it is. So certainly one day today doesn't have a reversal, but
The only other scenario I see is like when I look at your charts, there were a lot of two drive patterns that imply there could be another break, and there is a two drive on the S&P, two drive on silver. So, it's a maybe, but for now I have to play it from the long side and risk 3,600. I'm not going to get short looking for a 3,600 breakdown.
like I said, I sold my silver. I sold that AGQ today. I sold it at 20. I'll see you know what? I'll show you. Here's my chart on AGQ. Sold a bunch.
I
of it.
remember you had a 21. You were thinking under 21, it was bad.
Well, it did sell. Where is it? This is my sale today, and a bunch of it. If I can share my screen here, I will. I
Up
took
there,
a little
20.
right here
Not
with those
bad.
with these bars here, 20.
Yeah.
All right. So I was trading around it the past week. I think my average cost was 22. It went to 18. I know I did sold it yesterday at the double top at 20 and a half. You know what? I traded well out of a problem. I'm not going to lie, but I got, sidetracked on some positions. A lot of commodities giving up here. Exxon reversed poorly. So it looks like the oils are pulling back.
I noticed WTI down over $3 on an additional release from the SPR. We're not going to have any oil when we need it. And you know what? I think Biden's making a mistake going to war, at least politically, with the Saudis. Because, Mike, if they say, okay, Joe Biden, you want to cut off relations with us, we're going to start pricing our oil in yuan.
It's probably going to be the same thing analogous with Saudi with oil as we are with chips with China. That's the parallel.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because that would do a lot. The petrodollar has been one of the pillars of keeping the U.S. dollar a reserve currency. If they pull that plug, it's going to have some very important ramifications for the U.S.
Bank of America. No, I completely, Coach. Like I said, I leave that to the experts. And that's why I go and watch your video. You're one of those macro situations where I form my plan. No, I do. Look, this is a cerebral market. A lot of things make sense. Like, hold on. The swings, the volatility makes sense. The volatility makes sense. If you're on the wrong side, the reason why the market is moving, it's violent because no one's expecting it, but it's moving because of
the uncertainty.
Well, correct.
Cross currents.
It is cross currents.
Wall of worry. And I don't think there's a lot of hope. I don't see a lot of people saying, this is it. This was just a correction, and we're going to have a resumption of a bull trend. I hear almost everyone saying every rally is a bear market rally because they're now conditioned for that over the last 10 months.
That's correct. You know what? Still people, I got to go into trade. Oh, go back into Monday's video. Hedge funds are still aggressively short. Goldman's on the sideline. This is what I think. I think there's another, if what they're waiting for is either another major shoe to drop or another continuous rally like this, when it's just, there's another, people looking for another shoe to drop, Coach.
Yeah.
They are. I don't know who they're positioned for it. They really are. And the market's having a nice pullback, man. Now it's negative. Microsoft was up, the Microsoft gave back $10 off the high. $10. Okay. I mean, that's a big move, granted. So, Roblox, which was yesterday's star, now it's negative. It gave back $2.50. Here's a chart on Roblox. So, you know what? It's still yet to be determined if these are healthy pullbacks, roadblocks. I mean, the high today was what? 44.20. Now it's 42. That's a big move. Microsoft, the high today, 244, 235.
Yeah,
So
it's
listen,
ugly.
that's a big, Roblox went negative, Square went negative. Square was 59. Now it's 56. Baba, the coin, was positive today. Coin 73 to 66. You still having
I
$7
like that
moves.
chart. I like that chart.
Coin.
I really do like that chart. And it was upticking when you were just showing it there. I
Well,
like
it
it.
usually happens when I get on there. When there's
Okay,
something, you
so
usually go
I
coin.
like
Well, the
that's
reason
a
why that coin is down because SI Capital, which is arguably one of the best of breeds, this is taking down the whole sector. SI had earnings. I was
okay.
long this at one point. The stock closed at 70. Right now it's
Yeah,
56. So it's still so you still have a $14 move in a stock, a big stock that has 2.5 million shares traded by 11.20. You don't have to call a bottom or a top in the market. You could
you
trade
traded.
these type of stocks. Trade. Look right here. Look at the I'll go back one last time. Like, you don't have to stick your neck out and here's up high in relative volume. There's stocks, like I said, as of 11:20 Eastern that have a whole page of them, has over 100% volume tradable with huge range. Valero, SCDGE, Gap Stores has range and volume. So there's plenty of things to do with first of all, nobody's going to pick the top of the bottom anyway. So don't put that aside and trade with just giving you here.
Yeah.
So, that's all. You go to what we have. Any questions? I'm sorry if this is one of the better ones. Everybody's yelling at me. Let's go to
Okay.
what the wise guys are doing right now. Then we leave here because I want to do that where the option flow is
Okay.
right here. What are they doing? Yields and dollar rise, stocks fall. Okay.
Right.
In fairly simple formula.
Right.
That's it. All you got to watch UUP, TLT, maybe the USO and VXX. Not trade the VXX. That's all you got to watch. The blueprint's there.
He gave you the formula, Mike Venezia. Any last words for today, not forever?
Yeah, don't let no, not well. Listen, no, don't let your trades turn into positions. Know stick to your plan. In this type of market, the stocks that just your positions to start working, right away, usually are a very good sign. You know what I mean? Don't if you put something on it starts working and you like it, it's usually a good sign because the best positions start working right away. To be honest.
Okay, well, the dollar needs another close under 112 for a continuation move to the downside.
Yeah.
And we're right there. So we'll see what happens, Mike. Great talking to you again. And we'll see what's happening Thursday. Last Thursday was, kind of a historical day.
It was
I
a
think that was
historical
one of the
day.
biggest ranges and recoveries in the S&Ps in I don't know how many years.
I'll
Top
do,
4 or 5 in history.
Well, I'll punch something right here if I can. I'll show my screen because I try to like these to show everybody. Well, wild swings have made U.S. stocks hard to call this year, but just here's right here. Just here it is. Just an unbelievable stat. If today's 1% decline holds, which was what 2 days ago, 36.5% of all days, I said this, have been 1% or more down days. No other year comes close to that. Close.
Yeah, that's
So
that's fear of going home long. So it's not. Let's see, fear of FOGHH, fear of going home long.
Well, here's another one. But what are you supposed to do? Look who's bullish. Corporate insiders are buying their company stock again in size during the last sell-off. All right, so we know they're early, but they're buying. As hedge funds are shorting and Goldman's on the sideline,
Yeah.
insiders are buying back stock, and everybody's on off sides positioned. I just don't. You know what? It is. It's a time to trade. It's a time to trade, and it's time from. It's just a time to keep. It's a time to trade. The volatility is great. It's a time where the traders really make trading difficult. It's not really that difficult in today. Traders are making it difficult. One last thing is I don't have a better style than anyone. I just maybe over years know how to trade my style better. It's more important that you recognize yourself as a trader because there's always another trade. And the last thing you should be concerned about, especially on TGH, is stock selection or where to go on what's moving, what type of financial or instruments. It's up to you to trade that because we're unbiased to a degree. We give high level opinions, but definitely not short of where to point you of what's moving and where and why. So I'll leave it at that, Coach. Thank you.
Good catching up with you, bro.
Okay, cheers.
All right, out of